And for those who have stayed tuned, I really say a very big thank you to you. If you're just joining in, it is Providence Television International, and this is the Morning Drive, another interview session with Dr. Emmanuel Ehariva this morning. We will be discussing the abolishment of corporal punishment in schools. Is this really a welcome development? Dr. Emmanuel Ehariva is going to throw so much light on that. But just before we continue, for some individuals out there, they've been asking, how do we get to Providence Television International? Simply go to your YouTube, just type in Providence Television International and you are good to go. And it is also worthy of note that our programs are open for sponsorship. The Morning Drive, welcome your adverts. If you're interested, simply drop your interest in the comment section on YouTube. Back to the interview session with Dr. Emmanuel Ehariva. Dr. Emmanuel, the abolishment of corporal punishment in schools. I remember in those days, while I was growing up, we had tutors then that we were so scared of, because once you see them with their cane, it was the beginning of the fear of God. But these days, that doesn't happen anymore. What is your take on the abolishment of corporal punishment in schools?
Well, people of my generation, are probably yours, we went through that system, okay? When teachers raised up their sticks, not sticks now, their canes, or whatever, to instill discipline into young people. And the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. That's what the Bible says. But we're not going to that. But it's just that this system has been abused by some teachers. And this is reflected in some of the stories we have heard of, some of the things we have seen. Our children being terribly brutalized by teachers. Some of these things, they've gone viral. Even little kids, as little as young as about 4 or 5 years, sometimes they are brutalized. And that does not mean well for teacher-student relationship. It doesn't even mean well for the parents. I mean, no parent would be happy to see their children being flogged to the extent that they're almost going to stupor, right? So what we are saying in effect is, yes, to abolish it is a good idea. But where does it lead us? Because in those days, I remember, we used to fear canes a lot. Yes, and that's true. The system where we grew up, we're flogged on the backside, not on the back, on your bum. And that way, some level of discipline was instilled into us. But what do you find these days? Parents have kicked, other stakeholders have kicked against this, that you don't need to flog a child so much. They believe that a little touch here and there. But when you now flog so viciously, to the extent where the children they have wounds all over their bodies, some even leading to hospitalization, then it becomes an issue. And I think that's what parents are scared of. If the action is moderated, nobody will raise any eyebrow. But some of the teachers go overboard. And they want to vent it out on the students. For example, it's like some vengeance. Some of the teachers know the parents of these children. Maybe they had some misunderstanding. Okay, so if I can't get at your parents, I will get at you. Right? Some of them have that mindset. And as long as they have that mindset, I do not think that flogging children should be allowed as such. But if parents or teachers now know that they can do this thing within the ambit of what is permissible, then they don't have any problem. A few bad eggs, or many bad eggs really, among teachers have led to this kind of sorry pass. Otherwise, parents will not have the intention of even dragging teachers to court or to the police station. Why do they do that? Because they believe that they've gone overboard, treating children as if they are slaves or as if they are just chattels, you know. But I find it really amazing that Some parents, even with the little touch on the teachers, will go angry. And that's the way some of these children have been brought up at home. That nothing should touch them, that nothing should, no object should be raised up to discipline them. Okay. So they've grown in that kind of scenario. Excuse me. So that's where we are. Total abolition of this thing is, I am against it, really. Okay. I'm against it, yes.
Okay, and so what other disciplinary measures do you think can actually be as effective as it used to be when the cane was used?
Well, there are many things. They can be made to clear grass. That's a punishment. Where there are no grasses, they can be made to kneel down, okay? Not for too long so that they don't have serious health issues. But there must be something to tell the children that what they have done is wrong. Because if you just let them go, some of them can become hardened. But again, psychologically, if you hit them too hard, they become hardened as well. Okay. And they will tell you that it's only the worst the teacher can do is probably just to use a cane or two on them. So, but quite frankly, I think it is moderation that we need. Okay. Yeah, moderation in the sense that the teacher must also realize that they too are parents. Not all of them are parents, but many amongst them who are parents, you also know that what they do to other people's children, they will not want those things to be done to their own children. Okay. And that's always the case. Okay. But you will find that it is teachers who are not parents who usually do these things because they don't know what it is. Right? I saw one in social media the other day, a little girl about 4 or 5 years, stripped naked and beaten to a state of stupor. Okay. All right. We must also look at the mental state of the teachers. When we employ them, when schools employ them, we must look at their mental state. Because sometimes when you beat children up to that point, it means that something is wrong somewhere. All right? That children bring out all kinds of problems. You know, some with autism, for instance. You won't say because the child is disadvantaged that you use all your strength to beat him or her. No, that's not allowed. Because the children have their peculiarities. They have their issues here and there. Some of them psychological, some of them medical. So you must address those issues. Okay. And don't ever think that every child deserves to be beaten. No, some need counseling more than beating.
Okay, I actually picked something, although I might think that maybe you don't want to go back to it, but I want you to go to it. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Some people are saying that having to flog children is child abuse. Are you of this opinion?
Child abuse, yes, it's a double-edged sword, really. Child abuse to the point where the child is hospitalized. Okay. Beaten with marks, all kinds of marks. Okay. I mean, for instance, I have not raised my hand on my children. They're all grown now, by the way. I believed in talking, you know. That you'll find that in some homes that even pays them more. Okay, so teachers can also do a lot of counseling. If a child is recalcitrant, it's not beating that is the solution all the time. No, okay. It's not beating. Okay. And let me also quickly say this: some children are from broken homes, so they are psychologically disadvantaged. The parents are not there for them all the time, and so there's a transfer of aggression on other children who have their parents intact. Okay, because they know, I mean, children discuss anyway. They discuss in schools. You may never know the extent to which they go to discuss issues concerning their parents. So when you find children who are unruly, or necessarily unruly, there must be something behind it. There must be an underlying factor. And children who are brutes, okay? Who like to vent it on other children. There must be something. And sometimes I will advise that when situations are very difficult for teachers to manage, they can go the way of psychologists or even psychiatrists. Okay? There are psychiatrists who specialize in looking after children, because children too have their problems. I mean, crass disobedience, yes, is a problem. Autism is one of them. The ability to concentrate, the inability rather to concentrate is one of them. And some of these teachers, they get easily agitated. Well, some children are slow learners. Okay? they go through primary school, and then suddenly when they get into the secondary school, they become winners. There are children that I know who are slow learners, but some have speech problems, but are very intelligent. They have speech problems. You cannot grapple with what they are saying, but they are intelligent. So teachers must learn to be psychologically inclined. You must be patient with students or pupils, as the case may be, because they have their issues. Just like adults, they also have their issues. So we cannot gloss over some of these issues. I mean, a child, for instance, who is coming from a broken home will have certain tendencies. But you need to advise rather than beat. Yes, that's the issue. In all situations, teachers want to beat, as if that's the only solution.
And so it brings us to the training and retraining of teachers. That doesn't happen all the time.
It doesn't happen. I'm telling you straight now that some teachers need psychological treatment, psychiatric treatment. Because some of them, again, they are frustrated because either they are not being paid well.
Okay.
They are frustrated either because, of course, they also have their problems from the home. All right? A female teacher whose husband suddenly just ran away or just disappeared will not be happy when she comes to school. No, she will want to take it back on the students. It becomes aggressive.
Okay.
Therefore, I will advise that school principals should have their eyes down on teachers who behave abnormally, because it's a transfer of aggression. Sometimes these students do not even behave so badly, but there's a transfer of aggression. They become impatient. I mean, the teachers now, they become unnecessarily aggressive, and that's when they raise up sticks and all manner of things to flog these children. And in the process, they dam up consequences, which is wrong, because the law is always there to protect child rights. I mean, the children have their rights as enshrined in our constitution. Okay, so but that's the way it is. I mean, we must recognize the fact that there are child right abuses.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it's like what parents do now. You put a whole load of goods on top of the head of a little girl of about 7 or 8. They go on the street. In fact, I will even use this opportunity of this program to advise government that parents of such children must be arrested. Yes, because it's child abuse, all right? It's child abuse to the extent that the children are not in school. They should be in school, but they are not. Okay? So that's one leg of it. The other leg is that teachers must be trained and retrained to be able to handle certain issues that concern children. They must be trained properly. And before they are employed, they must go for a psychiatric test to be sure that they can handle children, particularly children in the primary school. Those are the ones that give teachers problems, not the ones in secondary school, really. See, let me tell you, primary school pupils, they are the ones who can develop truancy very easily. Truancy. They are the ones who can decide to spoil things deliberately. Okay? And there are children in different homes who have these tendencies. So teachers must be patient people, just like nurses. Like they say nurses are patient people. Teachers should even be more patient. Yeah, particularly with those little children who are just coming up. Secondary school can moderate them. Yeah, there's no problem as such. There are problems, but the problems are more grave in the primary school. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Like I've always said, it is always a very, very interesting session with Dr. Emmanuel Egariba. We'll be having Dr. Emmanuel Egariba later today on the program, Thoughts and Visions of Dr. Emmanuel Egariba. On that program, look forward to it, because we'll be discussing the causes and solutions to child abuse. On this note, I will say thanks for being with us on the morning drive. Don't go away, as we have quite a lot packaged for you on Providence Television International. From Dr. Emmanuel Egariba.
Thank you very much. Please remember to subscribe. That's important. When you subscribe, you are linking up with us. We're sure to give you some good programs. We started only about a couple of weeks ago, this station. We've had so many subscribers, sizable number of subscribers and viewers from across the world. We are still growing. Templates in terms of programming will also increase, perhaps exponentially. And we're hoping that when you stay tuned to us, you'll enjoy yourself. There are many programs we have lined up. With time, you'll get to know them. This is only the beginning. I can assure you. That's why we are the game changer, for example.
Yes.
Yes.
I will definitely live up to that slogan, the game changer. Don't go away, as we have quite a number of interesting programs lined up for your viewing delight. Thanks for staying tuned.